everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Retro Wednesday, where today, to coincide with the release of Sonic 3 and the introduction of Shadow the Hedgehog into the Sonic cinematic universe, we'll be taking a look at Shadow the Hedgehog for the original Xbox. So without any further ado, let's spin on into this. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with this game, Shadow the Hedgehog kind of takes the original Sonic formula and kind of puts its own spin on it. As, you know, if you're familiar with the Shadow character, he is like Sonic, but the edgier, you know, more goth sort of version of Sonic. And, you know, he uses guns, whereas Sonic doesn't typically do that. But in regards to this game, you actually have multiple story paths, whereas you can choose the light side, the dark side, or the neutral side. And that's kind of dependent on who you side with during these levels. Like, either you can side with the big baddie and then go the evil route, or you can side with the, you know, the normal Sonic crew and then go the hero route, or you can just side with neither and do your own thing, and then that'd be neutral. But first we have to get through this lovely intro cinematic telling us the big old storyline. Unfortunately, I don't think we can skip it, because, you know, if we could, we would, as that is a network staple to skip the lore and ask questions about it later. So I guess we'll have to go through this thing, and I'll cut back once we actually get to some gameplay options. And here we are in the first stage, Westopolis, a real fun one. You know what's actually kind of funny about that too? They're actually renaming one of our local cities to Westopolis, which is funny because now, you know, we can kind of be like, oh, okay. So that in canon is where this is all taking place. Although I don't think we're gonna have hedgehogs running around and a bunch of explosions, but I don't know, stranger things have happened, so I guess maybe we could. So far it's pretty standard in terms of, you know, control. It feels like a Sonic game. Apparently we're equal levels of good and bad. I don't know what they call it in this, like enemy or our villain rank will go up, I guess, if we end up attacking the gun soldiers, but if we attack, you know, the weird little aliens, everything should be good. Oh, and apparently we have our gun. We have our first gun here. Does this work on an auto-aim system? It looks like it kind of does. So if you are familiar to Metroid Other M, I would say is pretty similar to how this game controls in terms of its shooting controls. It'll just kind of auto fire or auto lock on to whatever's closest to, you know, Shadow, and apparently everything just wants to, you know, hit me right now. There we go. Let's use the homing attack and get rid of these stupid little bats before they end up, you know, absolutely decimating me. It doesn't matter if it's Sonic or Castlevania, the bats are just the bane of my existence. Apparently, as well as walking into gun soldiers is also the bane of my existence. I think what we're gonna try to do for this gameplay, or for this Let's Play here, is we're gonna try to get the hero rank, just because, you know, I think Shadow is a good guy, you know, deep down. He's kind of like an anti-hero. He's kind of like your Deadpool of the Sonic universe. A little more edgy, but, you know, still close nonetheless. I'm not sure what these, like, little fire things do either. Are these bad? Do we have to worry about that? Are they like landmines or something? Should I touch one for science? Okay, yeah, so they are landmines, and all I do is make me lose my ring. So I guess we won't be touching any more of those. Let's see if we can get some more stuff going. Oh, and I fell out of the map. Do I have to restart the whole level? No, I don't. Thank God. Otherwise, I was gonna be like, damn. Although this looks to be pretty far back. So maybe I did have to restart the whole level. You have to hit the checkpoints, which I guess I didn't hit a checkpoint. But yeah, this is kind of a somewhat obscure game. Apparently not a lot of people, you know, have played this back in the day. A lot of people have heard of it, but haven't actually sat down to play it themselves. And currently I'm playing it on an Xbox 360 via the backwards compatibility program. So if, you know, you wanted to play this for yourselves and you got a disc, you could at least play it on your Xbox 360. So, you know, if you still got one of those lying around. I'm not sure if it's backwards compatible on Xbox One. I would say probably not, because I think the Xbox One only had like 13 original Xbox titles that were supported through its life cycle, which is kind of a shame because there was like at least over 700 and they only supported like 15. So that's kind of the extent of the Xbox One's backwards compatibility for original Xbox. It's kind of pathetic if you ask me. All right, there we go. What does the B do? Oh, you can switch characters? I'm assuming that's what that is switching characters. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that this had like you could play as other characters. Oh, I'm using my hero ability. Oh, okay. So I guess while I was trying to panic and figure out what button I needed to use, I ended up activating my hero zoom power. So throughout this game, you can either, like, filling those little bars, you'll be able to use dark or hero abilities. And I ended up just using my hero ability, but it looks like you actually get to keep your progress towards it via like the little score bar down at the bottom. So you don't have to worry about, you know, saving the bars in terms of, you know, getting the proper rank that you want. And I believe that the stages are kind of locked off too, or the stages that you get to play are dependent on, you know, the sides you choose during the levels. And I just keep hitting everything under the sun. That is just absolutely fantastic. And this homing attack is something fierce. Oh my gosh, like you could just target people from across the whole map. My god. Well, go ahead and we'll just blasto through these guys. Do we even need to take these guys out? Is that necessary to progress? I mean, I don't think so. I think taking guys out is really just like to build like your hero repertoire or whatnot. So we could probably skip through most of these dudes. Not to mention we're already like 5 minutes into this level, so if there was any sort of speed bonus, you know, for completing this in a halfway decent time, we are well past the point of that. Actually, look, here we go. Oh, can I go up? Why am I wall jumping? How do I go up? Shadow? There we go. Perfect. Leave the emerald, go and exterminate the humans first. Okay, so if I don't collect this emerald, then I could go through the level again and end up exterminating humans to appease the alien sort of dude, and then that'll get me, you know, the negative rank. But I think we went mostly positive here, and we happened to get a B, even though it took us almost 5 minutes to get through that level. That is something else. All right, so now we completed Westopolis, and we are going, I guess, the neutral path, which is strange because I felt like I was sided a little more with Sonic, but I could have something wrong with the sort of interpretation of that. Anywho, let's go ahead. We're going into our second level here. Maybe that first level, because it was a tutorial, isn't really relevant. But yeah, who else is excited for Sonic 3? I mean, the first two Sonic movies were pretty good. I'm surprised that Jim Carrey came back to reprise his role as Robotnik in this one as well. Because, you know, he gave up acting after Sonic 2 released and was like, you know, it has to be a really good script for me to want to come back, or maybe should we just say that was just for show. But yeah, Sonic 3 definitely looks like it could be interesting. I'm surprised they're bringing Shadow into the fold. I wonder if they're gonna follow like the sort of plot of the Sonic X show. Is that the right thing? The Sonic X anime that they had, you know, back in like 2005? Pretty sure they had a whole Shadow arc in that. Could be mistaken though, because it has been, you know, at least, I don't know, like a decade before or since the last time I've seen that. But yeah, go ahead and leave your comments down below. Are you excited for the new Sonic movie? Or are you like, oh, I could care less. Sonic is more of a kid's franchise anyway. Personally, I feel like Sonic is something for everybody, but I don't know, to each their own. Some people do see that as a movie for little kids. I do find this quite interesting though, because, you know, instead of you being able to like just use the homing attack, Shadow has quite a vast arsenal of weaponry at his disposal. Like, you can use both alien weapons or human weapons. I believe there's rocket launchers. I think you can get into mech from like Robotnik through this thing. There's like a whole variety of weapons that you can actually choose from. But yeah, it definitely, because this is like a game from 2005, you do have that sort of jankness, you know, that comes with games from 2005, is that the controls are not often the best thing in the world, but this game is manageable. I would say the camera can be a little weird sometimes, but what 3D Sonic game doesn't have a little bit of a weird camera, you know? In terms of like the story of this thing, either you are taking over the world with the aliens, stopping the aliens with, you know, the Sonic crew, or you are doing your own thing, looking for Maria. And I fell there, again, beautifully, most gracefully. I really do not like that aspect of this game, having the somewhat jankness. Oh, okay, so that's the thing that I'm missing. So you have to destroy a certain amount of these guys in order to get the good guy side. So as you can see, I need to destroy 60 of the enemy aliens in order to side completely with Knuckles. And I guess in that first level, I I ended up being under that amount, or whatever amount Sonic wanted me to deal with. So we'll go ahead and we'll just work on trying to eliminate every one of these alien guys that we can see. Do I get Knuckles back again, or is Knuckles just forever gone now because I picked up this dark alien orb looking guy and I fell off the level yet again? You know, I gotta say that the one downside of this is that the checkpoint system is kind of bad. I don't like how they aren't really spread out a whole bunch, and like the distance between them is like a huge distance, and apparently I blacked out, so now I have to restart the level. That's absolutely great. But yeah, I guess that would be like one of the downsides of this game, is the fact that your checkpoints are so spaced out. And a lot of the time when you get the checkpoints, like here, I'm gonna land in front of it, and if I have like full momentum, I'm just gonna keep going and I won't even touch the checkpoint like we did in that intro level. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get back to about where I was, and then we'll continue from there. All right, now I think I'm about back to where we ended up falling off, and hopefully we don't do that again this time, otherwise that would be quite unfortunate. There we go, light rail. Oh, I like how Shadow sometimes catches himself. I'm guessing we're supposed to be able to use the ring dash sort of maneuver. I can't remember what the name of that is. So it looks like you don't actually lose all of your rings too when you get hit in this. You only lose like a percentage. I think at most you lose like 6, which is kind of a nice addition for this sort of like combat style, because you know, this obviously you're going to be getting hit a lot more in this than in a normal Sonic game, because you're not, you know, this one's a little more combat focused rather than platforming focused as the traditional Sonic games typically are. But yeah, it's a nice addition not to lose all of your rings in one hit. All right, yet another tornado. I'm not actually sure how far we are in terms of our hero progress either. I don't think we've defeated all 60 of those bad guys yet. So let's maybe try to farm some of these dudes. Can I do that? Is that an option? Yeah, see, I do have to say that the auto aim is kinda wonky, or at least can be very wonky at certain points, like specifically right there. There was no way for me to feasibly hit that guy, and I guess I can't go up until I defeat said guy. There's another Chaos Emerald, so we're already at the end of the level, unfortunately. I say maybe let's just finish it off, because I'm not sure if there's even a way to... I don't even think there's a way for you to check the progress on that, so I'm assuming I probably didn't defeat all 60 of them, so we're probably gonna go neutral again on this level, which is okay, but yeah, let's see. There we go, another Chaos Emerald. Stage complete. What ranking did I get? Did I get a halfway decent ranking? Took almost 7 minutes. I got a C rank, so not the best thing in the world, but that's just about all the time we have for Shadow the Hedgehog. So if you enjoyed, remember to drop a like and make that subscribe button glow so that you don't miss any future content. And if you have any suggestions for games you'd like to see us cover, be sure to leave it down in the comments or pitch it at our official Discord server. Link down below in case you're interested in stopping by. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.